It's the first episode of the season. It's the 3rd of October. I've had a bit of a mare, I won't lie. What is going on, people? Welcome to episode 3 of the Lazio series. And I've had a bit of a cocker. Basically, I forgot to check the settings on my OBS while I was recording. And as you know, obviously wear headphones while I record. I listen to music while I record. Forgot to turn off the fact that the OBS was picking up the desktop audio. So when I went to edit it together, you could just hear the music and whatever going on. So I've got to this point now and realised what's happening. So we start the season here, and I'm going to try and have to remember what I've done the last 2 episodes. But most importantly, as the summer has happened, let's talk about the clear out. My word, was there a clear out. So I focus in on this side of the screen then. As you can see, we have brought in 120 million worth of player. Now, some of these players left after I would have recorded the first episode. The season starts around the 23rd, I think, of August it was. And deadline day is until the end of August. So a couple of these players left later. But even so, the whole window we brought in £120 million worth. We sold £120 million worth of player, I should say. And there's a lot of deadwood. Italian teams hoard players like you wouldn't believe. So we just got rid of so many players, and it all mounts up. So I'll try and pick out some notable players that were here last season. A lot of these weren't. A lot of players have gone out on loan, mainly youngsters really. In terms of permanent outs, just a lot of little deals. Probably the first notable one I would say is Parolo. He was here last season, 35 years old. He's gone to AZ Alkmaar for just under $1 million, I think. 875k. Could rise to 1.1 million. But old experience head has gone. I said at the end of last season that we would need to freshen up the squad. That's exactly what we have done. So Parolo, one of the first to leave. Next on that list is Senad Lulic. Again, was club captain last year, but he is 34 now. And just all part of freshening up the squad. We had other squad leaders around, so it wasn't too much of a miss. He has gone to West Ham. We managed to get 1.5 million for him. He hasn't had a too bad start to the season. He's played quite a bit, actually. But so Lulic has moved on too. Next, probably notable player was Danilo Cataldi. He used to be a bit of an FM wonder kid, this guy, but 26 now. He didn't actually feature under me. He was sort of 4th choice centre midfield last season. And was quite happy to let him go when Spal came in with a bid. Just over £3 million we've got for him. He's done okay for them so far this season. But was more than happy to let him go. And as you can see, a few more deals that have amounted to bits. Again, players that were out on loan last season. Demizi, Patrick, Klein, maybe, Casasola, De Rossi. All for multi-million pound deals. Not extravagant amounts, but again, it all adds up. But this is probably where now it starts to get into the upper echelons of prices, so we'll focus on these ones individually. Bobby Adekanye will be familiar to Liverpool fans watching this one. Lazio picked him up on a free. He was out on loan last season. He wasn't actually going to be part of my plans, and PSV just came in with a bid of £6 million for this guy, and I thought, I'll absolutely bite your hand off for it. Adekanye has gone without ever seeing any action for me. Wallace is a player that actually I sold on deadline day. He was going to be part of my squad, as you will see in a minute. He was a replacement for someone we sold earlier in the window, but he was out on loan last season at Braga. As you can see, he did play 1 game for me. He was going to be a replacement, but he played in that game and sort of just fell down the pecking order. He went for an initial £6.5 million, is potentially rising to just over £9 million. So Wallace, he was in and then he was out. Next on this list is another centre-back, Bastos. 28-year-old Angolan was here last season, but again, I don't think saw any action under me. Marseille came in with a bid of almost £8 million, and for an ageing centre-back that I wasn't really sure if I was going to use, I was quite happy to take that. All again, just investing in, adding to that transfer budget, making it look a lot healthier, and gave us options to add in the window. Perhaps one of the more surprising departures, Thomas Strakosha was the first choice keeper last season, even though he lost his place in the sides towards the end of the season to Guido Guerreri. I was quite surprised by this one, but Dortmund came in for him. I initially rejected their first bid. He kicked up a massive stink about wanting to go, and when they sort of haggle prices, he got it down to like 10 million. So that's what we let him go for. The whole squad jumped on me to say I think you should let him go, and it was quite early on in the window, so I thought with the budget that we're amounting, we could probably bring in a replacement. So disappointing to let Strakosha go, especially for so cheap, but ultimately it was his decision, so I didn't really want to stand in his way and cause problems within the club. This one was a surprise to me, as it may well be to you. Luis Alberto, our main man in the attacking midfield. Of course, we have Vazquez as well last season, but I did try to get him on loan again, but Sevilla weren't having it. So Alberto was our only real option in attacking midfield. On deadline day, Arsenal bid for this guy. They put in a £27 million bid, and I thought, you know what, he's probably not going to play that much this season. You'll see why in a minute. So I accepted Arsenal's offer, but then Milan came in and offered us 30 million. So I was just like, he may be a divisional rival, but 30 million is a good price for an ageing player. And it was a bit of a swap deal. So, get your thinking caps on. Who could it be that we've brought in from Milan? Our biggest sale of the window, another centre-back, a right good clear-out in that position. Luis Felipe, again, was someone that I didn't really want to sell. Young player, plenty of potential, some really good stats. Lots of interest in this guy from China. But then Hertha Berlin came in. 31 million they've paid us for him. And I just thought, you know what, that's a really good offer. Having a really good start to his Hertha career. But 31 million for a centre-back that, he was certainly first choice last season for sure. But, I thought that was an offer too good to turn down, really, considering he wasn't valued that highly. Felipe has gone. 120 million bought in. And we haven't made as many purchases as I would have liked. But we'll show you them nonetheless. So we'll show you the first then, the three three pre-contract deals that were agreed before I came in. Jacopo Segri has come in from Torino. He hasn't featured under me. He's never going to feature under me, probably. I tried to get rid of him as soon as I could, but obviously because he's just joined, no one was really interested. But he's probably not going to play a part, to be honest. Pretty poor signing. The second signing was Gonzalo Escalante, a free from Eibar in the summer. 27-year-old Argentinian. It was actually a good addition. He's going to be a part of the squad. He's already played a couple of games for us. He's done okay without being superb. But some really good stats in there. He's certainly going to be a member of this squad. The best free signing that the Lazio made was Sergio Reguilon. Really good addition. I know he's a lot of people's go-to left back. Very young. Lots of potential, 3.5 star rated already, and he's been pretty much a mainstay in this side. I don't think he's missed a game at left back so far this season. Been really good for us, really happy with this guy, and they did well, did Lazio, the previous manager. So this is the first signing that, the cheapest signing that we made. It wasn't the first, but this was the Strakosha replacement. Pierluigi Golini will be familiar to Aston Villa fans, spent a season or half a season there. And he's now in real life at Atalanta playing Champions League football. And actually, when we played Atalanta last season, this guy was really good. Only rated 2.5 stars. I don't actually agree with that. I think he's a much better goalkeeper than that. He's actually been forced out of the side already by Guerreri. So testament to how well Guerreri has played. I think Golini, he's only played one league game. I gave Guerreri a game because Golini got an injury. Haven't looked back. Guerreri's been absolutely superb. But certainly a good backup to have. He was dirt cheap as well. It's just over 2.5 million. So really happy to get him in for that price. And I certainly think can provide good competition for Guerreri. A familiar face, Brais Mendes. We had him at Palace. And now we have him at Lazio. This guy was brought in on deadline day as admittedly a bit of a panic replacement for Alberto. Realised that after we sold Alberto, actually looking through, that we didn't really have a lot of depth in attacking midfield. So I had a look on the market. This guy was available. I did pay over the odds for him. I had to pay his relegation release clause, £33 million. So we've actually spent more on him than we got for Alberto. But I really wanted this guy to work at Palace. Didn't quite work out. I really want to see it work. So that's why I brought him into Lazio. He is going to be understudy to the main man that we brought in this summer. And I think you'll agree it's quite the addition. Welcome to Lazio, Lucas Paqueta. I'm not quite sure how we've managed to pull this one off. The 23-year-old Brazilian joins us from AC Milan. So he was the player that kind of was a swap deal, but not really, for Luis Alberto. But yeah, 4-star player. I mean, what can you say about this guy? He's absolutely superb. Hasn't played every game for me. We've actually changed system since the start of the season, but Paqueta came in to be the main man at number 10, even ahead of Alberto. Admittedly, we paid a lot for this guy. We paid 67 million for this guy, but we know how good he can be, what he can form into, and I think he could be here for a long time and lead us to some pretty good places. So yeah, Lucas Paqueta is the made man. We also had agreed a deal on deadline day for Takumi Minamino from Liverpool, but for whatever reason the finances didn't quite work out. That was going to be a £14 million deal, but yeah, it didn't quite work, so I'm probably going to look to get him in January to strengthen that right hand side. But that is all the business that we have done, so I think you will agree. £103 million spent. We've actually made a profit, but a big old clear out, and it's certainly helped us bring in a lot of decent players. So yeah, if we have a look at the makeup of the squad, some players were here last year. A lot of these players were out on loan. So if we just have a look, Guerrero, of course, was here last year. Galini, we brought in this summer. Acerbi was really good for us last year. He's still here. Centre backs, again, a lot of makeup of young players. Vavro was here last year but didn't feature. Youngster Nicolo Armini, lots of potential. If you watch the Wonder Kids video on my channel, then you'll know this guy has got a very bright future. Was out on loan last season in the division below, so I'm more than happy to get him in and around the squad this year. And then a young Greek centre-back as well. I was trying to shift, was out on loan last season, but because we sold Wallace on deadline day, we kind of needed him to stick around. Radu is still here as well, one of the left-back, obviously fighting out with Reguilon. Lazari and Maricic, who were here last season, again fighting out. Lazari's been been a bit of a mainstay really in the side. Johnny, who was here last year as well as Correa, they're both on the left hand side. In terms of the midfield, Escalante is there. Milan Badelj, 31-year-old Croatian, was out on loan last season at Fiorentina. Again, a little bit older, but a very good player. Actually fits into the system we're now playing in that defensive midfield, but a solid player all round really. So he's a midfield option. Still got SMS. There was a bid in the summer from Barcelona for around £75 million. And I said, well, if you want him, you've got to pay us at least 100 million. They weren't interested. He didn't kick up a fuss. So I was really happy about that. So really ecstatic that he's still here. Berisha is another option in the centre midfield as well. Was out on loan last season at Dusseldorf. But again, a decent all-round player and can provide another option in central midfield. Right wing, again, we tried to bring in Minamino. Didn't really work. So Morrow and Shehu, who were here last season, are still here. Again, going to try and strengthen that as well. And then up top, Immobile is still here. And Felipe Casado as well. Be familiar to some Man City fans. Yeah, he's been around a bit. He was out. Oh no, he wasn't out on loan. He was still here, but yeah, just again another option. 32 now, Casado. So yeah, this is the squad that we have going forward. As I said, we're now in October. We are third in Serie A. We've played quite a few games. We've played quite a few games already this season. I say quite a few. We played about 6. So I'll show you those results. The opening day episode was supposed to be a 2-1 win over Sampdoria. We started this game really well, but a late goal from Gabbiadini made it a little bit of a nervy ending, but we held on. Correa and Lazari grabbing the goals for us in that one. We then went to AC Milan and lost 2-0. Hakan Çalhanoğlu and Michy Batshuayi grabbing the goals for Milan. We just weren't at the races. We then sort of changed the system on the back of that. You know, I sort of decided to try and be a bit more defensively solid. It is Italy after all, and well, the change in system has paid dividends for us really. Even though it says 4-2-3-1 wide, we actually played the 4-1-4-1. So this is, if I show you here, this is the system that we've been playing. But ever since then, 4 wins in a row. 2-1 against Torino. We did go behind early doors in this one. Baselli, header from a free kick, put them in front. But then a double from SMS saved the day. A free kick on 57, then a screamer from outside the area with 5 minutes to go. Rescued us a win in this one. And then 1-0 wins. Efficient, I dare say. We haven't been spectacular this season. But yeah, I would say efficient is probably the best way to describe our performances. A 1-0 win away at Pescara. Florence Shehu, the youngster, grabbing the only goal. Really tidy finishing at the near post. Got us the win in that one. We then beat Spal 1-0. Casado started from the off in this one because Immobile hadn't played that well. So we gave Casado a chance. About 2 minutes in, he grabbed a goal. And that was the only goal of the game. As we picked up a win against Spal. And then most recently, which was supposed to be the next episode after the start of the season, we picked up a win against Parma. Again, not very convincing. Immobile, the substitute, came on with 5 minutes to go, grabbed us a win. So I was saying in the last episode that I would like us to be... I want us to put teams to the sword more. Again, we've been, controlling games, and we just need to sort of score, try and sort of bury games, really. That's what I want to see from us. Yeah, let's show you the league table as it stands currently. Udinese off to a flying start, unbeaten so far, but we're not doing too bad ourselves. Only 1 defeat and 5 wins, so we stand a point behind them. Roma up there as well, Milan up there as well. Some other teams not having a brilliant start. Inter have sort of been a bit sluggish to start with, but yeah, this is the makeup of the league so far, but of course very early days. Hello, editor Jamie here. I'm just editing this together the day this goes out, and the plan was to play through, obviously show you all the transfers and everything, and then play the Napoli game. But I didn't actually realise that I rambled on for quite so long. This video is already at 16.5 minutes, so what I'm going to do is wrap it up here and then show you the Napoli game separately. That'll probably come out Wednesday. So yeah, sorry there was no game today. I just thought, you didn't want to be sat there for ages watching the entire video with the game added as well. So yeah, that'll come out Wednesday, but I hope you have enjoyed this episode, a lot more detailed run through of what's been going on, which is a bit different for me, but I actually quite enjoyed that. So yeah, if you have enjoyed it, pop a like on there for me, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully we'll both enjoy this Lazio adventure together. Cheers.